Hi, hello, welcome back to the new video. So in this video, we're going to be solving, cipher text. I mean, we are encoding and decoding the text that's been entered by the user. So that is, we have been doing encoding and decoding is a way of cipher doing. Caesar cipher. He is a tickets hero, whatever. We're going to be encoding decoding our message the way a Caesar cipher did. He had he encrypt and decrypt the message that's been secretly provided by his what is called spy, and decode the message and code to send to the others. So we're going to be using the way he did to encode and decode our message. So if you are curious about this, I want you to go to this page and fully understand what I meant. So let's get into the problem. So I've just copied the what is called ASCII code of Caesar cipher, and go, and we're gonna write our code inside Tony. Tony doesn't provide any hints to us except indentation. And first thing I'm going to do is to this is art.py is completely a different file. What I've done is I've imported the file imported the logo from the art.py and printed over here. And I've also provided some alphabet. Okay. And what I'm going to do is next is what you have to focus on. So first I'm going to ask the user to enter the message. So that will be test that is input that's been entered by the user. Enter the text, whatever the text you have, or enter the text to encode or decode. And after that, I'm going to ask him I mean, shift amount. I'll simply give shift, and this needs to be an integer. So enter the shift amount, and after that what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him the direction, which is encode or decode. Enter the direction, encode or decode. These were the possible direction. Encode or decode. Okay, after that I'm going to create a function which converts the data that's been entered, the message that's been entered by the user into encode. You know, shift the amount to the certain amount of, certain shift amount and encode it. So I'm going to create a function called encode. I'm going to take an input as plain original text that's been entered by the user, and shift amount that's been entered by the user. And what I'm going to do is going to create a variable called Cipher Text, and this needs to be empty initially. And after that, what I'm going to do is loop the message that's been entered by the user for I in range, for I in text, uh, original text, and it's been letter in original text. So now we can get each letter from the original text. I wanted to get the particular letter index and add it to the shift amount that's been entered by the user, and that added total that shift amount to check out the that particular, we want the shift amount letter from this alphabet and add it to the ciphertext. That is the aim. And to get new shift amount, uh, new shift, okay, new shift and alphabet dot index of that letter from the alphabet and add it to the shift amount. Okay, now that's been added, and I'm going to add cipher cipher text equal to alphabet. Okay, and the new shift. This is pain, if you use Visual Studio or PyCharm over here, it will give you hints and you don't need to write entire code. There were so many shortcut keys and extensions you can download. This is such a drag, but it will help you to write all code all by yourself. That is the only main advantage from this, and also debug as well. Understood? And now that I have added, I'm going to print cipher text, and finally I'm going to call the function called encode and give the text may I mean arguments. you know these are called arguments. These are the real values. These are just imaginary, whatever you can give, whatever the name you like to this particular one. You can also give them keyword variables, keyword parameters, keyword arguments, what's like original text. Uh, hmm, I'll just copy it. uh, Text and shift amount equal to shift. mm, okay. mm, okay, now what it will do when I okay, let's see the output instead of discussing. Mm, it will ask the user to enter the text to encode or decode. I'm going to enter my name or hello and enter the shift amount. I'm going to enter shift amount of 2 or 5, and you can enter whatever. We have nothing to deal with this right now. Now you can see that we get the MJQQT. This is an encoded text. Understood? Let's see how does it happen. H. Where's the H? Here's the H. And the shift amount is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So H became M, and the J became not J, E became J. That is how all the letters from the text that's been entered by me became MJQQT. Understood? And so now we have achieved encode. Now we're gonna be write code for decode, right? Do you understand? Now, and finally, I just wanted to show you another thing, which is, there's a bug in our code if you are aware of or not. Let me show you what it is. When I try to enter my name and shift it to the file amount or whatever, here you can see we got an error. It's saying list index out of range. Because Y, after Y, you can see there is only one letter. None is existed, right? One, two, three, four. There's none to replace with the letter. So what we have to do? We are going to use what's called modulo to get rid of that thing. So here, the shift amount. After that, new shift percentage 26. Let's see what will happen. Here I'm going to enter hello file whatever inject okay. I'm going to enter Ajay shift amount file whatever. Here you go FOFD. Right, we got whatever the output we want. You can see I can give how much any shift amount I want. It won't show any error, you know. Got and I mean we achieved the output of encoding. Now let's talk about decoding. Just decoding is just M to make it to H, make the M to H, okay, like that. So let's write decode. I'm just going to copy this shit and paste over here and make change to decode, and it will take the same thing. Let's just remove encode. We got two functions now, encode and decode. What I got to do is to shift amount minus and add it to the new shift and see mjqqt, right? Hello file shift amount. I'm give mjqqt and shift amount is 5 whatever. Oh my bad, I got a call decode not encode. I got it again. mjqqt shift amount is 5 and whatever. Here you go, we got the decoded output is called hello, and we have already know Ajay FOFD, right? FOFD file amount decode. Here you got the Ajay. And if you, I mean, we can make it a single function, you know, two functions into single function, because you can see repetition in our code, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to convert this one into Cipher, and I'm going to give an additional parameter which is called encode or decode, and I'm going to ask the user if not here, over below here, if encode decode or decode, this is such a pain, equal to decode. What I want the shift amount to happen is I want it to become a minus one, you know, minus, right? Decode means we got decrease the, decrease the shift amount of, current amount. So shift amount is going to become minus, right? I will just multiply the shift amount with minus 1, so it became minus shift amount, right? Otherwise it will be positive, right? Now I'm just going to delete this code, entire code, and make it to Cipher. Another one is encode or decode equal to, if we don't provide this one, it will become positional arguments. Otherwise, we provide these things. Now they became keyword arguments. It will be better if you use keyword arguments instead of positional, so that you won't get confused when the time comes. So there were two functionalities. So let's see both were working or not. Mm, so first things first, you're gonna ask the test. I'm going to enter agile and shift amount file and encode or decode. I'm going to tell him to encode my his encoded, and I'll just copy it for the future purpose, and I'll run him again. I'm gonna told him to file shift amount file and decode. Now he decode. So everything is working just as I have envisioned or predicted. So uh, remove this asset. Okay. Now we have achieved ciphertext encoding and decoding. Now I want it to happen for a certain amount of time. Like, you can ask the user for, do you want it to play? Play. Want to play again? Play again. Otherwise, exit. Like that. I'm going to use a while loop to make that happen. So initially, I'm going to tell game finished. Is game finished? No, right? So I'm going to give it call false. And while, I mean, it will be better if I use it over here while loop. While, uh, while what is called? While not game finished. What I want it to happen is just ask the user to again do the, shit, whatever. Mm, Control press X and copy over here, paste over here, and that everything's good. Uh, seems like it. Okay, everything's good, I guess. And finally, here I need to ask the user when he's done. If input, do you wanna play again? If that was no, if that was low, what will happen? Uh, what's called game finish will become true. Game finished. Spelling's important. Okay, game finished will be true, and I'm going to say to the user, game finished, bro, not bro, go, whatever. Now I'm gonna run. There's something missing. Expected an indent. Okay, indentation error. So things might sometimes happens. This needs to be indented wisely. Control, control. Uh, Here you can see some, what's called keyboard shortcut keys aren't even working. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Such a pain. No one. Nothing's working. And this needs to be here. Okay. Let's see whether it will work or not. Again, encode or decode. Encode. Not encode. Text Ajay. Sorry for using my name again and again. And give a random one. And encode. Okay, he encoded. He is asking, do you want to play again? Yes. And he's asking, do you want to play again? You know, what is the mistake that we have done? Is not asking me to enter the text or something. So because of this one, I need to be, I want, I need to let them inside the function. So now they were inside. So let's run. My gosh, text is not defined. What the hell? Okay, maybe he's I need to let these three things here, not inside the function. My bad. Okay, now save. Mistakes happens, bro. I'm gonna enter a name called Bharati. Bharati. Okay, amount will be 10 and encode it. Now this one's the Bharati's name's encoded text. I'm gonna copy and I'll say yes. Yes, encode or decode. Enter the text. I'm going to enter this thing, and shift amount will be 10. I'm going to tell decode it. So now it became Bharati. So everything's cool, right? And you can tell that you may thought there aren't any errors, but there is an error. When I try to enter, let's say over here, I'm going to tell, do you want to play a game? Yes, and I tell Ajay Bob. Text will be. There is a mistake, right? I need to make it to enter the text. That's it. Now it's cool. It's confusing me. That's why. I'm gonna enter the text Ajay Babu and the shift amount will be whatever and encode. You can see we got an error because you can see that it's saying that the empty string, this thing is not inside the list. So what we have to do? So what I'm going to do, you know, you can do too. Do it by yourself to get it off of that error. So there, here. If letter inside the if letter equal to an empty string, what I'm going to do is cipher cipher text equal to that thing. Otherwise, this thing. Hmm. What if he tried to enter some, letters or sometimes, it's called numbers and some kind of symbols. We can make that happen too by creating another kind of numbers list and symbols list. So I don't want to make that, I don't want it to be lengthy, so I'll just stick with what I've got. So I'll just remove this thing, and so it's only ciphertext, right? Let's see the code he provided over here. Mm, here you can see this is a letter, and over here there aren't any what is called, there were only some dots and spaces and English letters, not what's called special characters and numbers are involved here, right? Mm, so I'll go over here and and also else if letter not in list, right? What is called alphabet list. In alphabet, what I wanted to happen is mm, I want it to be else if, right? I'm just going to copy. Oh my gosh, I've been making so many mistakes. I just don't want it to end it like this and like this, but sometimes happens, right? Cipher text and letter that's been entered by the user, right? I can replace it with like, I can uh, I can remove this comment. I'll just comment it. What the hell? It's not even allowing me to comment it. Okay. If letter that's been entered by inside the original text is not inside the alphabet, what I want it to happen is just add it to the letter, add it to the ciphertext. That's all. Else, otherwise, things happen as usual. Indentation is very important when it comes to Python. Otherwise, you'll get an error. Hmm, let's see it will work or not. Uh, I'll enter Ajay at the rate of 123 space Babu. Shift amount is 5 and code. Uh, Now it's working, right? We have achieved a being mark. Really, literally, I've done it. I did it, right? So that's it. We have done our Caesar Cipher, Caesar Cipher project, and it is so fun. It's blended my mind, and I blended my mind a lot, and I think, think, think a lot. I think a lot. So in the end, we achieved. That's all that matters, right? So that's it. That's it for today, guys. In the next video, I'll see you with a new project of Python. I've already told you that I've been revising everything that I have learned in my past. So that's it. Bye then.